Are you curious to know how my first full week on the new Weight Watchers program went? Sit back and relax, we're gonna get into it. Hey everyone, it's Cathy, and it's so nice of you to join me today. Today I just want to have a chill talk. I want to go over my first full week on the new Weight Watchers program and give you my honest thoughts and how I did. Okay, so I really did my best to follow the program, but I'm going to be straight up and tell you I'm not perfect, and neither is my weight loss journey. I did manage to lose 1.1 pounds. I was hoping for 2 or maybe a little more, but you know what? I'm still learning the program, but I will tell you I love it. I think this is the best version of any Weight Watchers programs that I have ever tried, and the thing that it is really making it my favorite, I think, is something that I really wasn't looking forward to using. I'm talking about tracking the macros. The reasoning for joining Weight Watchers again was I felt like I needed support, and that was my main reason, so I could go to the meetings online because I don't live near a place where they have meetings. And I thought, I'm never gonna use those macro things. Well, was I ever wrong? I find them the most interesting and most helpful aspect of the app. Whenever I was working with my dietitian last year and I managed to lose 27 pounds following the balanced plate approach, and then I kind of went through a rough patch and kind of gave up on it and gained 5 pounds back over the Christmas holidays, and now I'm working on getting back to my 27 pounds and continuing on. The reasoning was I just felt like I needed a kick in the pants, and the balanced plate program works seamlessly with this Weight Watchers program because the emphasis is on eating protein, fruits and vegetables, and healthy complex carbohydrates. And that's the whole balanced plate plan. And I'll link that video here. You can go watch that if you haven't seen it. But I never ever expected to be interested in the macros. It's just not something I don't want to say I didn't care about. I guess it just wasn't on my radar. But when I was working with the dietitian, one of the things she always told me was, you are not getting enough protein. And she's right. Because whenever I look over the last 7 days, some days I only got maybe 30, 40 grams of protein. Because the truth is, I don't eat a whole lot in the day, but what I do eat is just, it's not balanced. And that's where I struggle and where I continue to struggle and what I'm going to work on. So as you can see, as we're going through my my app, I'm just going to bring it up here on the screen. Just going from memory, some days I would hit 30 grams of protein, 40. I think one day I'm looking at here, I had 66 grams of protein. And I'm trying to aim for 100 grams a day, so I'm still learning on how I can, get more protein in. Something else that really surprised me was the added sugars that are in food. And now when you're tracking the macros, I'm just looking on my phone, you can track your protein, your carbs, your fats, your fiber, sodium, calories, and added sugar. And I'm just tracking all of the macros that are available just so I can see how I'm doing. And it's surprising to me still the amount of hidden sugar in some of the food that I'm eating. And also I'm not eating enough fiber. So those are things that I need to work on. But the thing that I was trying to focus on the most was how much protein I get in a day, because the more protein you eat, it's going to keep you feeling fuller for longer. So the whole macro thing is the one thing that I really wasn't think that I'd use or be interested in. It turns out this may be the thing that is really going to keep me on track. So, it's really important to be open to change and trying new things, because if we keep doing the same thing over and over again that didn't work, what's going to change? Nothing. So that's what I'm learning as I'm still learning the program. Hopefully this week is going to be better and I have a larger loss. I weigh myself now on Sundays, so I'm working Sunday to Saturday for my full week. Yeah, it's been fun reacquainting myself with the program and looking at their recipes. I have some ideas. I've been doing some research. I'm going to be creating a video on 5 high protein breakfasts that we can make. Not that I'm a big breakfast eater, but lots of times I will have like breakfast food for dinner, because a lot of times for breakfast I'll just have like a little bit of yogurt, and I have to like force myself to eat breakfast because I've never really been a breakfast eater. But I'm trying to like eat later, maybe 10 or 11 o'clock, and have like brunch. And then what I find what works the best for me is having a bunch of smaller meals throughout the day. Like still have our one main meal, which I like to have at lunchtime, and then, a snack around 3, and then maybe I'll make myself a little charcuterie board for supper with like an apple and some cottage cheese, or some high fiber crackers, things like that. I'm trying to get away from thinking like, as I was growing up, we always had like 3 big meals a day where you'd have like meat and potatoes. And it's hard to erase that thinking. I still feel kind of like I have to make, a large lunch and a large supper. But as I'm getting older and I'm not as active as I used to be, I don't get that hungry, and I don't really need to have that much food. But I also found on the days where I ate maybe 5 or 6 smaller meals throughout the day, those were the days I weren't craving sugar, days where my protein was higher. So I'm always trying to think, how can I get more protein in during my meals? And I have a few products I just want to talk about. And one thing is cottage cheese. I used to love cottage cheese when I was a kid, and I just kind of got away from it. So now what I'm doing is I'll maybe boil some eggs, have some cottage cheese, and I'll sprinkle either pepper on it or the spice everything bagel. That just gives it a little bit of texture and crunch. And then I'll have a whole wheat toast. So that's like a good meal that's balanced with protein. I also want to talk about this protein powder again. This is by Good Protein. It's a Canadian company. It's actually, I believe, made in Montreal, I think. Got lots of good things going for it, but it's the first protein powder I've ever tried in my life that I actually like. Because most protein powders, they have that kind of chalky taste, and I also don't like the texture. But this, I could eat it by the spoonful. It is so good. It has 21 grams of protein and 7 grams of fiber. I like the flavor. It's mixed berry. You can buy it on Amazon Canada. You can also buy it straight from the company. There's a website, it's called well.ca. I'll link it below. They also sell it, and I know that well.ca ships to the US. Not sure if they ship food products, but it's the only place I can find it for those of you watching me from the US. But it's great to support a Canadian company, and it is so delicious. Honestly, I could eat this by the spoonful. I think it accounts for 3 points, but what I was planning on doing, I use this in my smoothies, because lots of times I'll just have a smoothie for my dinner at night if I've had a large lunch. And I don't use a full scoop, I'll use a half a scoop. But what I was thinking of doing is, I hate plain Greek yogurt, but I know that it's less points on the Weight Watchers. So I got the Brainwave. I haven't tried it yet, but if I bought plain Greek yogurt and maybe just sprinkled a teaspoon of that into it, stirred it up, it might mask the flavor that I can finally eat plain Greek yogurt. So I'll let you know. Another thing I want to talk about are these crackers that the dietitian suggested to me, and I really like them. They're high in fiber. For 3 crackers, it's 120 calories, 6 grams of fiber, and 4 grams of protein. So oftentimes what I will do also for a meal is I'll get 2 of these, and then I'll take like 1 wedge of Laughing Cow cheese, put that on, and oh my gosh, it's such a great snack. So I'll have this with some cottage cheese, or I'll have this with like an apple or an orange. I like to have like a snack around 3:30, and I'll usually have an orange then, and then sometimes in the evening I'll have like an apple with a few almonds and a cheese stick or a piece of cheese. That was another trick that I learned with the dietitian. So overall, I am happy with the program. Like I said, I'm still learning things, and I feel this is the tool that I can have in my toolbox that is going to help me get back on track and get back to losing weight. The more I research, the more that this particular Weight Watchers version of the program, I truly feel like it was made for me. And like I said, it is so similar to what I learned with the dietitian. And of course, you can still, go to your favorite fast food place. You can make better options. They have like a restaurant list in the app where you can, check out your restaurant and see what you can have to eat before. Another thing I want to mention is we went out to lunch one day last week and I wanted to try, they have a feature on the app where you can actually take a picture of the food and it will tell you what it is. So we went to St. Hubert and I took a picture of the coleslaw, and it took it a while to spit out what it was, but it said that it either looked like coleslaw or something else, I forget what. You can see how the app kind of works. But I've also tried it before, for a sandwich, and it just knows, it says it looks like you're eating a sandwich and it'll tell you what the sandwich is made out of and tell you the points. It's a great thing, I think, to have on the app. So overall, my first full week on the new Weight Watchers program was positive. And now that the sunshine is here and the spring weather is finally going to show up, hopefully this week, I'll get outside and start moving. So let me know if you are trying the new Weight Watchers program. What are your thoughts? And I'm still not on the Connect thing. I don't even know if I'm going to bother. Like I said, I just want to use this for motivation. I thought that I would be attending online meetings, but I only attended half of one 2 weeks ago. And I find that just the macro tracking is what my focus is on. And I find it very motivating just following that, because say I didn't eat enough protein one day, then I'm going to try the next day to do better. So my suggestion is, if you try the program, maybe don't try and be perfect on everything. Just give yourself time to learn the program. And maybe don't try and, be perfect on all the macros. Just pick one or two where you can, work on those. And once you get those figured out, move on to the next one. Because I have found in my experience, whenever I try to be perfect at everything, I just fail at everything. It's too much pressure. It's too much commitment. And you can only do the best that you can do. You don't have to be perfect every day, but do try to write down or, punch in on the app what you're eating, because I find those days I am more apt to remember to stick to the program and eat healthy, rather than just writing it in my head and then, I forget about it. Thumbs up to the app. I'm enjoying the program. I'll check in at the end of April with you with our monthly check-in, and in the meantime, I might try and do a video with some recipes. I'm not promising anything. I have a full month ahead, but I'll do my best to share some things that I find helpful. So click that subscribe button. I upload 2 videos a week. Love to have you here, and thanks for watching today. Bye.